is Sue Gray. I am South African. I've been living in Singapore for about 14 years. I have always been a still life painter. I've always enjoyed painting inanimate objects. And bottles was a natural transition for me. I started to become aware of them when I was basically shopping and seeing all these beautiful bottles on the shelves that went largely unnoticed by everybody. They just have become so intertwined with our lives. And it kind of made the horrible grocery shopping experience like more bearable, because it was kind of a bit like a treasure hunt every week. And I can't actually remember how the first one came about, because I've always done more traditional still lifes that have multiple objects in a setting. I thought, what about if I really just blew them up, so these little bottles that people aren't noticing, if I put them on a large scale and a black background. And I started with 2, and then it just grew. And so I decided to create a body of work.
It's very interesting to see that an artist who did not grow up in an environment in Singapore, who had a very different life from a local Singaporean, to have this deep appreciation for something that almost all Singaporeans use on a daily basis. She sees it in a very fresh perspective and with very fresh eyes, with a lot of awe and enthusiasm for just very common household objects. So personally, actually, I don't use a lot of these bottles growing up, but I do recognize them, and I recognize them as common household products in Singapore. And to see her also have this appreciation, even though she also don't necessarily have this connection of nostalgia in terms of growing up with it, it's very interesting.
Beyond their aesthetic value, whatever their shape, their size, their color, whatever their outward appearance, they all have something in common. They're all glass, pure and fragile. And they come in all shapes and colors, exactly like humans. Some of us are taller, some of us are shorter, some of us have a bigger build, some have a smaller build, some have blue eyes, some have no eyes, you all know the diversity of the human condition. However, each of us is created unique in the glorious image of our Creator. So what Sue has done by depicting each bottle of an equal size and a large size as it is, she's magnifying the unique beauty of every bottle. She's also saying each bottle is uniquely beautiful, each bottle is equally beautiful. Each human being is equally important. Love is an energy that reigns supreme in the universe. That's why, people might say love wins. The matter, the energy that we think is there, is only a manifestation of love. It's probably the only reality, and maybe our task as humans is to reveal that love.
It's in French we have actually a different definition for different type of love. It could be linked to relationship, emotions, and feelings. But it can also be, I think, a testimony of life, that at some time in your life you're ready for love, and sometimes you are not. And sometimes you can receive and you can give. I wish Personally, I wish that I could have been more open before, but I was not, and it took me time to understand and to live through, but I know it's very important. But the relationship with art is different. I think you can really come as yourself and open up and finally feel the energy, the emotional connection you have with the artist, with the work, and with the people. So I think a gallery is actually a place for love. Yeah. And you're back to yourself in a way. It's like a mirror.
So I'm pretty simple. I'm an educator, right? So we can go on and on and on. So I'm going to spare you the loquacious answer. And if I think, and I like to think in threes, so if I were to give it three things, I think love is assuming best intent, love is unconditional, and love is universal.
I would say to understand that we are all very different people and to be aware that it's okay to have differences and to not see it as, and to not have a kind of defensive mechanism when you meet somebody who is different from you. Whether it's very strong opinions against something that you believe in or whatnot, to have an open mind and understanding that we are all just humans trying to figure out ourselves and trying to find things that fulfill us and things that bring us a lot of love and joy, that we are all in this together and there's no reason to kind of butt heads.
Well, definitely you show love through your whole self, I do think, not just in any particular action, sometimes not even in the words that you say, but that just being there, I think, and that willingness to give of your entire self is how I would demonstrate love.
You know, I think the idea of kindness and patience is really important, but I don't know that people know how to action that. It's a good idea, and it's really powerful when we know how to act it. But I think to act it, that's the what. The what is kindness and patience, that leads us to love. But I think to do that, we have to be able to have some marching orders. And what do we do? And that's the first thing that I think love is defined as assuming best intent. Even if we don't agree with somebody's way of doing things, if we assume that there's intent that is well rooted, then maybe we can find a common ground to agree on that. So if we assume someone's best intent, I think most people try to do the right thing. I think they come from a really genuine good place. But sometimes the way they act or the way they sound or the words that they put together to convey meaning can detract from their original intention. So I think it's kindness and patience, that's the idea, but how do we go about doing it? That's the what. The so what is assuming best intent. If we can learn how to do that when times are tough, then I think we can get back to the core of embracing each other as human beings and being kind and being patient and passionate and love.